And this is the picture of King Farouk. He sent his picture to Eliot, or first graduate from the domestic institute. Moving on to this picture is the certificate from Ministry of Public Instruction or وزارة المعارف العمومية that published in 1953. Because in this picture we can notice that some students were studying ثانوية عامة or general secondary school in this time, but the general secondary school for domestic science. Moving on to another work from Dr. Amal al-Shami was students in 1948 or something, and graduated 1951. This is a separate picture for Mrs. Aisha Iqbal Rashid. She was the dean of the Higher Institute for Female Teacher or Arts for female teacher in arts from 1942 to 1946. There are some books here about domestic science for Mrs. Fatma Fahmi. This is the basics of or principles of cooking for Mrs. Nazira Nicola. Also here, Mrs. Zinab Abdu, the head of Department of Fine Arts in the Higher Institute. Moving on to this is book of Usul al-Tahy, for the basic of cooking. Around this time or the history, we have some events in 1946 or 1947. Another book about Usul al-Tahy or basics of cooking, about biscuits cooking and cake and different type of candies. Another book, laundry work, and the mathematics, home mathematics. Okay, then moving on to this picture. This picture was about in 1950 something. We have here students, secondary school student with this uniform. They study domestic science, and here different mixture of students, secondary school students with the higher institute of domestic science and embroidery arts, 1954. This is the Mrs. Dawlat Sadr, the dean of the domestic science, Higher Institute of Domestic Science and Embroidery Arts from 1947 to 1962 until 1967 as well. So this is the time for the Tadbir Manzili and Funun Tarziya both together, 47 and 62. Here Dawlat Sadr in one of the graduation party in the institute. Moving on to this picture, this is very close. Mrs. Dawlat Sadr and Professor Azzuddin Farag, the professor of horticulture in the institute. So we had some classes, practical and theoretical classes in horticulture, and some of graduates or staff working in the institute carry on the party of graduation. Some graduates or students in the same party. Another party or the same event. I think the same event, something like giving a talk or giving something related to the party. Here, Dawlat Sadr, and on her hand side, right hand side, Mrs. Bushra Zafir. See, the old people have the same style of hair. Typically 1950 something. Another picture from the same event of graduation. Students. This is they called kazuza, or sort of soft drinks in mid 50s. More pictures from the party, graduation day. This is another more pictures. Here more pictures. Here Dr. Ansaf Nasr later on become Dean of the Faculty of Home Economics in 1979. This picture is in the mid of 50s. More picture in the mid of 50s. Yes, Azadin Farag and some staff from Faculty of Agriculture, and probably Arabic teacher and chemistry teacher. Carry on the picture here from the graduation days. More graduation days picture. Here, this picture is representing a play or performance in the institute. That you can say this time of institute, the Higher Institute of Domestic Science and Embroidery Arts, is the finest or the golden time in the institute or the history of home economics. Dawlat Sadr was very interested to show different activities in the institute, such as doing play or some fashion show, or play, something like that. And very interesting picture about the graduates. Music as well was an important factor in the graduation days. I think fashion, Mamluki, it's like a uniform of Mamluki. So this girl probably represents a boy, and another girl with white stuff represents a girl. And another solo funny stuff. Probably she's imitate someone from the same graduation days. Here, Dr. Ansaf Nasr, late Dr. Ansaf Nasr, with someone from the Department of Embroidery Arts, mid-50s. Music is something very important in these graduation days. More students. Moving to a graduate picture or graduation picture. Another graduation picture. Certificate from Ministry of Education that come in 1953. So the institute was belonging to the Ministry of Education, as the most of art institutes or like music institute, education, music and art or fine art institutes, all belonging to Wizarة التربية والتعليم or Ministry of Education. In 1957, there was very important to show the role of home economics to help people to choose different kind of metals and how to do care with these metals as إدارة المنزل or home management classes. I think this is an open day to invite people to give them idea about the importance of a different type of utensils or metals or how to care, how to care about them. This picture, 1959, in Burj Al Ahram, I think Burj Al Fayoum, yes, something outside the Cairo. The training house here, more training house. Lots of certificates. Yes, this is the certificate 1962. This is the last certificate that produced from Higher Institute of Domestic Science and Embroidery Arts in 1962. Then after that, there is no domestic science become the Higher Institute of Home Economics. This is after 1962. This is about hotel lecture. I think this is Vincent, the chef of Shepherd, probably. This is the group of the administration, Mrs. Dawlat Sadr and Mrs. Bushra Zafir, and some staff or student mix of students and staff, and people from ministry, I think, Ministry of Higher Education. And this time the institute belongs to higher education, Ministry of Higher Education. This is picture 1966, is Ramadan breakfast. Another picture here about the graduates, 1963. This is the Higher Institute of Home Economics in 1963. So this is the real certificate from the institute. More pictures. This is the magazine of Higher Institute of Home Economics. Several books. There's several books about the dishes in health and disease, World of Women. Another books, more books here. This is the graduates in 1967. So this picture taken in 1960, in April 1966. Here Dawud Sadr and Professor Izzeddin Farag. Some students in the playground in 1966. This picture is 1960, 67, 69. And more pictures here. Dr. Ismat Rujdi here, and here Professor Ansaf Nasr and Mohammed Samaha, here the manager of the Higher Institute. This is the after death of Gamal Abdel Nasser, something like sharing sadness in this picture. Here, Mrs. Samiha Kamil, who saw here in the first picture when King Farouk rewarding here. And this is another picture in home economics, how share in the Arab house. the magazine of Higher Institute of Home Economics, 1975. Nargis Habib Saba. She has a very famous book about culinary science and art. Another magazine about home economics. About this official one or publish the scientific work, while both this one and this one for students. Students collect subjects and produced in these magazines. Professor Nargis Habib Saba with the students. Professor Jilan Salah Al-Abbani in her discussion or in her thesis, the master's thesis from SSC. This is the PhD. Mrs. Suad Omara, Dr. Suad Omara. Here, Ustaza Mrs. Hayat Tayyib Nagar in 1980 or 1981. Here, Mrs. Hayat Tayyib Nagar in United States.